Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is even more strange and interesting US counties.
Okay, we did, I say not long ago, it's probably, I think it might be the last geography video we did was for strange counties. I'm not gonna lie, that threw me off though, because I thought this was like oddities.
Yeah, I don't know why I read the title. I read the title before.
Yeah.
But
I thought it was
oddities.
oddities.
When I was saying.
And then when you said counties, I was like, oh, this is a counties video. So there you go. I didn't expect that going into it, but we're going to go into it. Smash that button if you enjoy, guys. Smash that subscribe button. Are you still doing your stream marathon?
Yes.
For up to 6 hours?
On Friday.
So, Friday the 8th? Would it be 8th?
The 9th.
What's the date today?
5th.
5th?
Monday.
Yeah, the 9th. Friday the 9th, of a Friday coming up of February around the 9th. Millie will be doing a stream marathon. Could last 6 hours. It could last 30 minutes.
Could do.
It depends. Depends if people donate or not. It's probably an America trip, so if you want to check it out, I'll be on for the first couple hours if it's on.
If Archie's.
And if Archie's helping. If not, it would just be Millie. And like I say, it might only last 30 minutes, but we'll have a good 30 minutes anyway.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Even more strange and interesting US counties. What we got? Howdy.
It's Kyle.
It's Kyle.
Howdy, it's Kyle with part 2 of strange and interesting U.S. counties, with most counties in the country doing kind of the same type of thing, the same type of jurisdictional control, generally the same type of size and scope. There are certain ones that do things a little bit differently based on their physical geography, and that's what this series is. I'll leave a link in the description and one of those little blurbs up there to part 1 if you want to check those out, but let's take a look at part 2 of strange and interesting counties in the U.S. I'm going to start with Lake of the Woods County, Minnesota. This is the northernmost county in the country and the northernmost county equivalent in the contiguous U.S. The county has about 3,900 people, with the county seat being Badette with about 1,000 people. And it's the only county in the country whose name is something X of the Y.
Well, I mean, he says it looks busy, but and it is small, but it's not got many people.
No, but it looks. What I mean is it looks busy.
It does. It must be a touristy place.
Maybe.
It must be.
So it's Lake of the Woods County, and it takes its name from Lake of the Woods, which is that big lake there. Lake of the Woods is the largest lake in the U.S. after the 5 Great Lakes, and it's the 36th largest lake in the world. Wow. However, only parts of it are in the U.S., other parts are in Canada.
Okay.
But what makes this county really interesting is that it's home to the Northwest Angle. This is a portion of U.S. land that is discontiguous from the rest of the U.S. by land. And many people know about this, how you would have to drive through portions of Manitoba, Canada to get from the main part of Minnesota to the Northwest Angle.
So this is, we've seen the other one before, haven't we? Where they've had to go through the boards to get to school and all that. This is the same thing.
Yeah, but not Alaska.
Yeah, it's just not been told about. Yeah. Like, we were told about it last time. Never heard of this one, so that's interesting.
But one thing that's less known is that the Northwest Angle is not discontiguous from the U.S. It's contiguous by water, so you can take a boat from the north shore of Minnesota to the Northwest Angle and not leave the U.S. And then during the winter, when the lake freezes over, there's an ice road, so you can drive from the north shore of Minnesota to the Northwest Angle.
I don't know if I'd trust that road. Obviously, it's been driven on and people do it, but how do you know when it's starting to melt?
Yeah, no.
Oh, imagine. Let us know if you ever used that road before and if you felt dodgy or not.
The land of the Northwest Angle is part of the Red Lake Band of the Chippewa Nation. And the total number of people living in the Northwest Angle is about 150.
Wow.
So Lake of the Woods County, the only county named X of the Y something, home to the largest lake outside of the Great Lakes, and you got this weird Northwest Angle part that's discontiguous. Pretty interesting things for one county.
Definitely.
Next, I want to move on to Cimarron County, Oklahoma. This is the westernmost county in the state. It's the west end of the Panhandle, and with a population of 2,200 people, it's the least populous county in the state.
It's quite big.
The largest town and county seat is Boise City. It looks like Boise, but it's pronounced Boise. And it's also home to Black Mesa, which is the highest point in the state at just under 5,000 feet and just over 1,500 meters.
Wow.
And what makes Cimarron stand out is that it's the only county in the country that borders counties in 4 other states. It sits on the state lines with Texas, New Mexico, Colorado, and Kansas. And even though the
Archie's awake, we will be back.
On Central Time, there's one town in this county, Kenton, that runs on Mountain Time. So, Cimarron County, nice place sitting there at the western end of the Panhandle.
It's nice.
Next, I'm going to move down to Monroe County, Florida. And whereas
Where's
Lake
that
of the
pointed?
Woods County,
that
Minnesota is the northernmost
Quad
county
Key,
in the
like the-
contiguous U.S.
Oh, the Keys thing.
Off
That does
Island.
look beautiful, the Keys
It
thing,
does.
to
It
be
looks
fair.
very tropical, doesn't
It
it?
does.
Monroe County is the southernmost county in the contiguous U.S. It has a
Okay.
population of about 83,000 people, and
Oh,
the
quite a
largest
lot.
town is
Crazy.
Key West with about 27,000. And the reason why this is such an interesting county is its huge dichotomy. Because this county consists of both most of the Florida Keys as well as a big chunk of Everglades National Park and Big Cypress Swamp National
Oh, okay.
Preserve.
Oh, it's all up
Essentially,
there
the
as well.
entire population of 83,000 lives on one of the Keys, and 87% of the county land is uninhabited. It's either the protected
Wow.
Everglades or Big Cypress Swamp.
Wow.
I find it very interesting that Monroe County is essentially the entire chain of the Keys, but Miami-Dade County goes pretty far west into the
Yeah.
Everglades. It gives the county a very strange look when you're looking
Definitely
at
a
just the
weird
shape of the
shape.
county itself. After Key West, the most
Stunning.
populous islands
That is
are Key
beautiful.
Largo, which is the largest one with about 14,000 people, Marathon Key with about 10,000, and Isla Morada with about 7,000 people. At the south end of the Keys is Dry Tortugas National Park.
Ooh.
It's accessible by
That's stunning.
That is incredible. That looks like an awesome national park
Yeah,
to
it
visit.
does.
Hard to get to, it looks like.
Yeah,
but it
but
looks
also-
beautiful.
boat or seaplane only, and it's home to the unfinished Fort Jefferson. And from a geography standpoint, this is the southern and westernmost keys in the Florida Key chain. So you have a large number of near tropical islands, a
Wow.
big giant wilderness swamp, an unfinished fort, and a bunch of hurricanes,
That is
all
a-
with Monroe County.
Like,
Not the hurricane.
maybe not the Wilkins, but that is a very cool county.
It is.
It seems to have a bit of everything.
It does.
Next is Northampton County, Virginia. This has about 12,000 people. The county seat is Eastville, and the largest town is Cape Charles. And this is along the eastern shore of Virginia. This is the
interesting.
southernmost part of the Delmarva Peninsula. And Delmarva refers to that peninsula that's partially Delaware, Maryland, and Virginia. And this part is the Va of Delmarva.
Okay.
There are two counties in the Virginia eastern shore, with the one just north of Northampton being Accomack County. I've always found it interesting that this is part of Virginia and not Maryland, but either way, this is a very lightly populated rural area. You might
It
think
looks
that
less
being
busy.
right
It
there
does.
on the beach would be a huge draw for development and housing, but this part of both the Atlantic
that looks
side and the
nice.
Chesapeake side are pretty swampy. So perhaps not the best for beaches or tourism, but better for keeping it nice and quiet around there. Northampton County is also the northern terminus of the
Ooh.
Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel.
Okay.
This was completed in 1964, and
crazy
prior
that
to
we've
that, it
been
was
Like,
only
yeah, it goes underwater there, doesn't it? That's well cool.
Yeah.
Like, I've never been on anything that goes underwater. I know, like, the Euro train goes
I've
underwater.
never been on that.
And in my mind, and I'm 99% sure this isn't the case, I like envision it all being glass. You'd be able to see the
that would be
sea.
sick,
That would be
if it
sick. I know. I'm 99% sure it's not. I've never
No,
actually
I don't
looked
think
at
it
it.
is. I think it's like.
But as a kid, I've always thought it goes under the sea,
Yeah,
and then
the
like you can
Nigerian-
always see
That'd
around.
be cool if they did that.
Now I'm a bit older, I've realised, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
no,
probably not
it's
that.
not like that.
But imagine if that bridges.
Yeah.
I'm going to imagine about bridges unless one of you guys tell me otherwise. So don't tell me otherwise.
only a ferry service to get from the eastern shore of Virginia down to Virginia Beach. And because it's not part of Maryland,
Looks
it was effectively
nice.
an
It does.
island to Virginia. And because there was so much development separate from the main part of Virginia, the accents in this part are also different.
Looks
And that
stunning.
drive up the eastern shore of Virginia is really nice. You see a part of the state you don't normally think about when you think of Virginia. Going farther up the Atlantic coast, I'm going to Norfolk County, Massachusetts.
Okay.
This
Norfolk.
is west,
Yeah.
southwest
Lot of English
suburbs of
names.
Boston with a
Yeah.
So we've got Bristol, we've got Plymouth, Norfolk, Suffolk, Weymouth, Cambridge,
I feel like we were
Essex.
looking at a very similar area on the last video we did
Middlesex.
of him.
Is it Worcester?
Worcester, yeah, because we did this exact same thing on like a
Hampshire.
different area.
Northampton, Berkshire. We've got
Yeah,
all those.
anywhere in New England just has loads of names,
names.
English names, which we're just
We
used
don't
to.
have Cape Cod though. I'm disappointed about that.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, I don't think we have Cape Cod, do it.
population of about 725,000. And this is a discontiguous county. Between portions of this county, there are portions of Suffolk County, which is where Boston is.
Okay.
Originally, all of Norfolk County was contiguous, but then Boston and Suffolk County began annexing parts of Norfolk County. And then after all the annexing of Boston and Suffolk County, the towns of Brookline and Cohasset were exclaves to Norfolk County.
Okay.
And each of these suburbs is a separate exclave. So Norfolk County, Massachusetts is the only county that has multiple exclaves,
yeah.
but over land,
Okay.
not
Random
by
little
islands and
bits.
water.
Yeah.
And for Massachusetts, that often doesn't matter what county you're in. There are technically 14 counties in the state, However, 8 of them are used only for census purposes and population count. But Norfolk County is one of the 6 that does still act with a county government. So you can commit a crime in Brookline and have to deal with a Norfolk County DA.
Oh, okay.
Heading out to near the west coast, I'm going to Inyo County, California. This is located on the eastern side of the Sierra Nevada going...
By the way, I keep looking down. Because
We've got a little friend here.
we do have a little friend here who has been good as gold. Oh, aren't you, lad?
Look.
Mwah.
Where's Archie?
Oh, where's Archie? Are you looking at the camera? Mwah. Is that? No, oh, shall I stop that?
He's very clingy.
He's very clingy at the moment. He woke up, brought his chin, and his dummy's now gone. But that's why I disappeared before. That's why I am looking down. But he's a good boy, aren't you?
You're a good boy tonight. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. He's smiling.
Are you enjoying these facts, Richard? Yes,
Yeah, if you hear him talking, he's in a really talkative mood.
Yeah, he's just commenting on the video if he's talking.
Yeah,
over to the Nevada state line. There are about 19,000 people in the county, with the largest towns being Bishop, Lone Pine, Big Pine, and the county seat, Independence.
Okay.
This is the 9th largest county in the U.S. in terms of area, and there are several aspects of its physical geography that really make it stand out. One, it's home to Mount Whitney, which is the highest mountain in the contiguous U.S. It stands at about 14,500 feet, or over 4,400 meters.
Oh, wow.
But Inyo County is also home to Death Valley National Park, and within that is Badwater Basin, which at 282 feet below sea level is the lowest point in North America.
That's
so
mad.
You have the highest point in the U.S. at Mount Whitney, and the lowest point at Badwater Basin only 90 miles or 140 kilometers apart. Also, there are 12 peaks in California that are over 14,000 feet, and Inyo County is home to 10 of them. But that's not all. Inyo County is also home to perhaps the oldest tree in the world. Wow. A Great Basin bristlecone pine named Methuselah is thought to be over 4,800 years old.
I like the name.
There are some other trees thought to be about the same age, but whether or not this was the actual oldest one is certainly one of the 5 oldest trees in the world.
Okay.
And within Death Valley National Park, which is within Inyo County, is the highest recorded temperature ever on Earth.
Wow.
A temperature of 134 degrees or 57 degrees Celsius has been recorded at the park.
I mean, we've heard that before.
Ugh.
It still blows my mind how hot that is.
Way too hot.
Like we're like 22 degrees in England, but it's hot. We're happy.
Everyone's in the shorts, t-shirts, everything.
Yeah, and that's Celsius we're talking about. Like, oh, imagine 105 Fahrenheit. Oh, it's mad. Absolutely mad.
The average high in July for this area is 117 degrees or 47 degrees Celsius. That's an average July day.
Wow.
So the highest peak in the contiguous U.S., the lowest point in North America, the oldest tree in the world, and the highest ever recorded temperature on Earth, all in Inyo County.
Wow, that county's got a lot of stuff going on.
Heading over to the Mississippi River, I'm going to Fulton County, Kentucky. It has a population of about 6,000 people, with just over 2,000 each in Hickman and Fulton, the 2 largest towns. And it's located in an area right around the Kentucky bend of the Mississippi River.
Okay.
This is the southwesternmost county in the state. It borders both Missouri and Tennessee. And this is another county that has an exclave. But this one's a little bit different. You can get there by road, but only through Tennessee. If you go by crossing the Mississippi River, you go into Missouri and you cross the river again to get back into Kentucky. And the result is that I believe Fulton County, Kentucky is the only one in the country where you have to leave the state to access another part of the county.
Okay.
Wow.
But perhaps the best part about the Kentucky Bend, this area that's been cut off, is that the population right now is 9. So buy up some land and be the 10th person to live in this exclave of Fulton
9
County.
people in the county. And like, these counties aren't small. They're not small.
No.
They look small on the thing, but I suppose the US is that big. That's why they look small. I'm pretty sure these are quite big compared to England. These are obviously not bigger than England, but compared to an England county, I'm pretty sure they're big.
Yeah, crazy.
9 people. That is actually mad.
Kentucky. Going back up to New England, I'm going to Grand Isle County, Vermont. The county has about 7,300 people and is the smallest county in area for Vermont.
Okay.
And this county consists of a series of islands as well as a functional island in Lake Champlain. So the main islands are called North and South Hero Island, plus there are many other smaller ones. And overall, the vast majority of the islands in Lake Champlain are part of Vermont and not New York.
Okay.
Because the border between Vermont and Quebec, Canada was determined to be a line of...
Imagine living there. Imagine living there. It's beautiful, isn't it?
Because the border between Vermont and Quebec, Canada was determined to be a line of latitude, it cuts off a part of this county known as the Alberg Tongue.
Okay.
Because this peninsula is jutting down and the largest town on it is Alberg, this is known as the Alberg Tongue. And even though this isn't an island, because there is no road access to other parts of Vermont without going through Canada, it's jurisdictionally an island.
Nice.
Next, I'm going to go down the Atlantic coast to Dare County, North
I dare
Carolina.
you to go there.
It has a population of about 38,000 people and consists of some swampland on the mainland as well as the Outer
again,
Banks.
Yeah,
And
it's
the Outer
like
Banks
It's
are a
like
line
Florida.
of narrow barrier islands offshore, with the most well-known islands being Hatteras, P, and Bodie.
Okay.
But because
Nice.
these are low-lying, flat
Ooh.
islands with a lot of wind, the Wright brothers chose this area for their base of
Oh, wow, there we
operations to
go.
test early
That's cool.
airplanes.
Do you know what that is?
First over.
The first ever airplane by Wright brothers, weren't it? That's mad. Oh, there's a little statue for it as well. I didn't realise there was a statue for it. I thought it was like a reconstruction.
Oh, so did I. That's a statue.
There's an actual, it looks like an actual statue, which is always there. That'd be pretty cool to go and
It would
see.
be.
But the first ever plane, but it makes sense in a windy location. It does make sense.
And where they did this is called Kill Devil Hills. It's a town now, but at that time there was nothing there.
Oh, okay.
But on the mainland, you also have Alligator National Wildlife Refuge. And this is a swampy wetland area at the mouth of the Alligator River as it dumps into the Intracoastal Waterway. So in many
Maybe
ways,
not.
it's like Monroe County, Florida, where you have a mainland part that's mostly swampy, wetland protected area, and then most of the people living on islands. And if you're a paramedic in one of these counties, you might be responding to a shark attack one minute and an alligator attack the next.
It's okay,
So-
yo, it's okay. The
No
shark's not
sharks
going to
coming.
get us. Oh, the alligator. It's okay.
No sharks.
I was getting scared. Never mind, Archie.
Dare County, another one that has a dichotomous aspect of the county where the sheriff and the DAs have to deal with two very different things, even though the overall county really isn't that big.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
And lastly, I want to mention something I mentioned in other videos, but if I'm going to be doing a video talking about strange counties, I certainly have to mention these.
Okay.
And that is that the city of New York is actually divided up into 5 counties. Under New York City are the 5 boroughs, which is each its own county.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Manhattan is New York County.
Makes sense.
Bronx is Bronx County.
Makes sense.
Queens is Queens County.
Makes sense.
Brooklyn is Kings County. And
Oh.
Staten Island is Richmond County.
Okay.
So
I
in
was going
case
to
you
say it
ever
has to be one which had a different name as the
Yeah.
county, but 2 of them do, so it's not too bad.
wondered why it's Queens, well, Brooklyn is actually Kings County, so it would be Kings and Queens.
Oh, okay.
So New York City is the only one in the country where the city jurisdiction supersedes the county jurisdiction.
Wow.
A guy from Queens commits a crime in Brooklyn, then gets caught in Manhattan. Which DA gets the case? I'm not sure how it all goes down, but New York City's county situation certainly makes it interesting.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So that was part 2 of
That
Strange.
was good.
I enjoyed that.
Enjoy
yeah.
that. Geography. It's been a while since we've done Geography King, and it's a great channel. You guys, link is in the description for you guys to check him out. Very informative. Learn some things, some wacky things. I never thought I'd been to geography like so much growing up.
No.
But now I'm older. It's actually really
It's
interesting.
interesting now, yeah.
And Geography King does it well. Let us know if you want to check out any more of his videos. Shout out to Archie for putting up with us, chatting. He's like, hello, hello. Oh yeah, that's bright. That's bright. So good boy. Shout out to Archie. Shout out to Millie for enjoying the video as well. And watch the video.
Have a fantastic day.
Shout out to you guys as well. Why not? And we'll see you legends in the next one. Peace.